Hi, I'm Gaby.
I'm Jenna.
And I'm Chaliece. And you're listening to Music Makes Me Lose Control.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Music Makes Me Lose Control. We started this pod to discuss about the insight in the industry, talk about current events, debunk pop myths, and dive deep into happening music and artists. Before we get started on today's episode, let's talk about what merch we are wearing today. So, Jenna, would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. So today I am in one of my favorite artists' merch. I ordered it online. There was a whole debacle because it came with a hole right here, but then I got it for free. So do you see this beautiful colory fish? And then here's the artist, Miss SZA. I don't know if it's backwards for y'all, but there's just like, for everybody listening and not watching, there's a colorful fish at the top, very big SZA block in the middle, and then Camp Control 2018, and then little something down here for Top Dog Entertainment. But yeah, it's just like a really cute t-shirt. It's like heathered, like white gray. It's super cute, super comfy. Love SZA. Control is like the best album ever. So everybody listen to it if you haven't already.
I like that. It's cute.
Thanks.
So if you've listened to other episodes, you know that I've worn Janae before. She's back. This time it's a t-shirt. It just says her name at the top. This is so hard to show. And then it's like the cover of the Schlumbo album. And then at the bottom it says the album. I think it's just like regular like tie-dye on the back, but it's like a yellow, like kind of tie-dye. I love it.
It's so colorful and beautiful. I love the flower.
It's fun. It's so much fun. It reminds me of like Hawaii or something. Like it just, I don't know, makes me want to be someplace other than Philly.
Chaliece has so many colors in her closet. My God, if you've ever seen it, oh, it's like a rainbow.
My closet is a store. It's a store. Jenna's always shopping at my closet when she was here all the time.
Yeah, if you need a Halloween look, just go to Chalice's closet because you can find anything you need.
That's so mean.
No, it's like a prop store. There's so many different things in there. There's so many different things that you can use. Okay, and it's cute. It's cute.
I have a lot of stuff.
No offense intended.
It's okay. No, I definitely have like a lot of stuff in my closet. My closet is jam-packed.
So today I am wearing merch from Young the Giant.
Oh, love them.
It's a band. So actually this is my sister's shirt.
Chaliece doesn't listen to alternative music. For everybody wondering why I'm laughing. Okay, continue.
This is my sister's shirt, and I actually stole it, and I don't think she knows that I have it with me. So yeah, I know like 2 of their songs, but it's a comfy shirt, so I'm wearing it. It's got this, I don't know anything about them, so who knows? It's got this little person there. Then it says Young the Giant on the sleeve.
It looks like he's lifting his head off.
The back says Young the Giant again. So yeah, that's my shirt for today.
I actually really like it. I like the color and the design. It's very original.
I know. I really like it. I should probably listen to them more. So today, we will be talking about house shows. When we first started at Drexel, we all heard the term house shows being thrown around, but we didn't really know what it was. I personally never heard of this term until I got to Drexel. So people were bringing up house shows left and right, and not once did I ever have the intention of learning more about it, of going to one. And I think that really all started because of the people and the environment. So I felt like a good place to start this conversation was talking about the divide in the music industry, just the music genres and the people.
Just to give everybody just a bit more context, like when Gaby and I were at NYU in that music business program, like there were definitely a lot more people who were like pop leaning, like they maybe liked some alternative stuff and they would try to like brag about what they liked. And I'm like, okay, like Marina is not that underground. Like,
you're so right. I forgot.
But there were some artists I had never heard of, like, and I was like, oh, like some good recs, but they were basically still just like alternative. But then you go to Drexel, the professors are like, so you'll be going to these shows, and I'm like, what shows? Like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
They said house show, and I'm like, I've never heard of this term before. And I think some kids were into it, and I was like, did I miss something here? Did I miss something? I came to Admitted Students Day too, and I think they mentioned it there, and I was still like, I guess this sounds cool. Like you're gonna be like, you can go to all these shows that are close by, I guess. But I still didn't really know what a house show was. It seemed like everybody else was tuned in, and I just had no idea what in the world that they were talking about. And it's actually like this whole like genre of music of just like really, really small artists who they like tour around like in these basements of these houses in Philly. And yeah, definitely as a new student at Drexel, had literally no clue what they were talking about, could not relate. So immediately I was like, where are my people? Am I going to find any people besides Gaby, who I already knew, who like the same music that I do?
Well, I remember when they like brought up like the DIY scene, and I was like, DIY?
Again.
I was like thinking like Pinterest, like, you know, like make your own like arts and crafts. I was so lost.
I'm like, oh, people are like making their own instruments and like their own like clothes and stuff. DIY, okay.
Honestly, very embarrassing now that I'm thinking about it. But I mean, it made sense. Yeah, I'm even still in like the Facebook group for it, like the DIY scene in Philly. Anyway, but then I remember we were in Mad Dragon, right, talking about what type of artists we wanted to sign. And in our class, a lot of the people were really into this house show scene. And so was our professor, to be completely honest. And so they started talking about artists. And everyone was like, oh, I really like them. And then people would like vote on like whether we should like even consider signing them. And I remember just looking at Jenna being like, do you know any of these people? Like, are you like just as lost as me? Because I've never heard of these names before. But like some people were so excited about it. I don't get it.
I have grown to believe that like the house shows and stuff, they're a lifestyle. And
agree.
There's people that, and it's not a bad thing. Like if that's your thing, like that's the type of shows you want to see, like, or of course, go ahead. But like there's people that just strictly are like house shows. Like those are the artists I need to listen to. Like those are the shows I need to go to. That's where I need to be at. And like coming to Philly, I think it was like once you leave high school, you're going into the city and there's a lot more like places where you can like obviously do house shows and stuff. That's why we came here and we finally knew what it was. But there's so many different ones happening like every weekend. And so many people were just like talking about it. And I remember like, it's like almost like you had to go like in music industry, like you just needed to go. And like people would be like, oh yeah, there's a show tonight, blah, blah, blah. And this person in the major is playing and yada, yada, yada. And I feel like the only reason I ever wanted to really go was to see the people in our major, you know?
And I was like, who is that? Who? Are they good? Yeah, that's always my first question. Are they good? Why am I going?
Are they good? But that's how you find out. And then you can make your decision. Because Lord knows I found out.
People post on Instagram and it's like, I'm not going to go out of my way to go see you play in a basement. But like, I also know that there's some people in our major that like own the house and like the basement, and like it's pretty crazy. Like when you think about it, like the people in our major like are managing that, because it seems really disorganized. So like props to them to like, you know, put it together and like make it a thing, because I don't think I would be able to handle that.
And from what I understand is like they basically worked up to that. Like they loved the house show DIY scene so much that they were like, I want to like run this house. And it's it's honestly super cool. Like if you love that music, like that would be kind of awesome. You could just host like artists that you like in the house. I think like the coolest part about it, from what I understand, is because I had never been to one, is that like you can find like artists from not just Philly, but like who come to the house and like perform in the basement. And it's super small and intimate, which I love shows like that. But it's definitely like an experience for sure, from the pictures and the videos that I've seen too. And I have a question, like this was very unclear to me still to this day. So when we came to Philly, like all of us, the first years, were these people ready to go, like revved up about this house show thing? Because
it feels like it.
Like, did they know about it? Okay, so it's actually like a group of people that know about it and wanted to get involved from the get-go. Because again, I came to just learn about the music industry, listen to the music that I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had no idea if people just got into it gradually or if they came already with that idea in mind.
I feel like some people that already consider themselves to be like small artists, they were trying to do any type of work that would give them publicity, give people to listen to them, like all that stuff. And like that way they were doing that, you know? And I think it definitely works for people. I know there's people that actually get fans off of that, like followers, because we have social media now. So like you're going to get follows from that. You can give out stuff at your show. I've seen people do that. And it's cool. It is. I think it's really cool for like when you gradually become like a bigger artist to look back on like, yeah, like I was in school and I did these like little house shows. Or for someone who like hosted the house show, like you basically have your own little venue, you know? And like people are like, oh, the show's at blah, 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 and it's your address. Like that's kind of dope to like have your own like venue, but you're not really like in the industry where it's like this big spot. But eventually they also could like own an actual venue or like anything like that. So it is like a nice, like it's getting your foot in the door, but it definitely was like, it threw me like first coming here, because I was like, what? What is this? Okay, I have to go to this person's basement and watch this person sing like a foot away from me. But yeah, if you have the good artists, it's nice. If they're not good, it's not so great.
My question about it is like, is it a certain type of genre, or like do we see like pop artists like going to house shows, or like rappers?
I don't even know. So like the house shows I've been to, and I think it's only been like 2, maybe. But like one I'm thinking of right now, it was like a mixture of like genres. And I feel like unless they're doing like an event that night where like it's supposed to be like a certain genre or whatever, it's probably just like mixed and like whoever they can get to like do these spots. I don't know. It would be smart for them to stick with like the similar like genres at a time, like for each show, because then you get that certain crowd to come in. But also you could do it both ways too, so you can get the whole crowd like from all the genres.
Well, now I'm wondering, because remember the 3 of us, we went to a show that our friend put on. So is that considered a house show?
I think it is. It's like I thought it was like a very, very small house. Oh my God, it's all flooding back to me now.
Sorry
the bathroom
for bringing
situation. Just a little semicircle watching the artists.
Oh my God, I'm getting hit in the face with memories right now. I'm getting beat up. No, that
Sorry.
was, I
Is that a
just
house
feel
show?
like, I think it's definitely a house show. I feel like I need like someone who goes to this stuff like hardcore to like really explain it to me. But like from what I would guess, like that would be a house show. It's just like not professional, but I think because of the location, that place I think was like more set up, and it wasn't like I don't know how to like describe it. Like that place, like a lot of people use, like it kind of was like a venue. I don't know how, it's not like it's a little house, but it was kind of set up in like a venue rather than thinking like a house show.
A basement.
Yeah, like just a basement. But I think it still would be considered a house show. But yeah, that was only thing I could say is I wish there was more people.
Yeah, see, that's the issue. I think that's why I was always so nervous to go to house shows, because I went to that and I was like, that was so awkward.
Yeah.
That was just so uncomfortable for me. And I
All of
didn't for all of us, yeah. And I never wanted to go back to one. And you know what's funny? So I went to the Aaron Carter concert. Stop. Like sophomore year by myself, keep in mind. So I walk in, smallest crowd I have ever seen to go see Aaron Carter. And in the back of my head, I was like, I feel like this is what a house show feels like, but like a more hype house show. And, you know, it was awkward at times, but also a good show. So that's what I imagine a house show to be like with the Aaron Carter concert I went to for $5.
I mean, and here's the worst thing. I think maybe the two worst thing about house shows. First of all, you're taking a chance when you go. You might be spending money that you could be spending on food or clothes or whatever. It's cheaper for sure, but still, it's money when you're a college student. You're taking a chance on this group of artists that could literally just, I don't know.
They could just be
curdling shit. Like it could be that. It really could. And then the second thing is with the house show we went to, the crowd was so small. If you feel like leaving, you are just shitting on that artist right then and there. Because you literally can't. All you can do is go to the bathroom and like I guess rejoin the crowd. But like if you walk out like the artist is you feel like shit too yourself because you don't want to like just like make them feel like they're doing a bad job.
Yeah.
Might just not be your thing. The people that go and they're like they have all these artists come and they get into it, like more power to you. Because wow.
My issue with them is the looking down on like pop. Thinking that like their music is so superior that like everything else is garbage. And anything like that's on the Billboard 100, don't even try to listen because it's bad. You know? And it's kind of just like, I think you're wrong, but okay.
Yeah, it's crazy because they're wrong, like 100%, because pop music is pop music for a reason. It's popular music. It's popular because it can, I wouldn't say it's like the best, but that means everyone's listening to it. You know, like there's a reason that it's popular. So
if it grabs the attention of like all these people, like the masses, like how can you just argue with that fact? Like, yes, there are some songs you might not like, but it's still popular for a reason, like Chaliece said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my biggest issue. And like the worst is like when in class, like a professor will be like, oh, like who listens to so-and-so? And sometimes I want to be like, me? But then I'm like, I don't want these people to judge me. So I just stay quiet in my corner because, you know, if it's not someone, never mind. I won't say that. Never mind.
Say it!
No, I can't.
Say it!
Say it! It's calling out too much.
Say it!
No, I can't.
I mean, okay, let's be real. Let's actually be real about this crowd, okay? Like, the superiority thing, like that might all be in our heads. It's definitely not all in our heads, but maybe some of it. But like there are times when we would be having conversations with these people and they would like not try to remember our names. We were just like basically the outside crowd, you know, like just like we are mainstream. We still like each of us though, like we go off on our own little paths too. Like Gaby listens to Latin stuff. Like Chaliece listens to literally like sad like ballads of these really, really small artists. And I listen to literally like so much. With them, it's like they only have one lane. And and if they have another one, they don't talk about it. They don't bring it up. I don't know if this is real or if it's like just the image you want to put off, but I think if you want to work in the music industry, like you have to, I've tried to listen to the house show stuff. I have. But some of it's okay and some of it's like, but yeah, I don't know about the superiority thing.
Yeah, maybe we are crazy and maybe we do look into it. But my issue is when you've been in a class with someone for 4 years, four, and like you can't even try to like learn someone's name. That's my issue personally.
Oh my God.
Because it's just rude. It's just rude. Like just because I'm not in your same group doesn't mean you don't have to try to like make an effort. Like,
I mean, when you're in a group project and they're like refuse to like address you by name,
even look me in the eyes.
They're just like, and then they start talking instead of saying Gaby, Chaliece.
Yeah, it's inconsiderate to be honest.
I want to mention for all of our listeners and watchers, if you are offended or if you feel like the shoe fits, I want you to wear it, okay? Because it fits for a reason.
It does.
With you. But yeah, don't take too much offense, we be ranting or whatever.
But there's people that do make an effort, and I appreciate those people. That's all I gotta say. I'm thinking of one person in particular, but I'm not going to mention.
Say it.
But a very nice person. Very nice.
Stop, I have to think. Are they like in the house show scene?
Kind of, sorta. Not in like the same genre of house show.
Oh wait, I know who you're talking about. Wait, guys, we can just bleep the names. It's no?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I was
Who's
thinking
that?
No. So nice.
Who's that?
So nice.
He's got hair. I can't say that. That's a bleep, bleep, bleep.
Oh, yes. He's nice.
So nice. I was thinking this because she's like in that like scene.
Oh,
not like
no, she's
not
great.
like house scene, but like, still in that like scene almost. But she's
great.
like so nice and she like makes an effort. Unlike,
Am I one of those people? I'm over here. Who's that? This whole thing, I find out it's me. Yo, we're just talking shit, bro. Like, this episode is brought to you by Shit Talking.
Let's talk about like what house shows even are. So like, here's what I imagine. I think it's basically a frat, but with a small little stage on the floor. Like a frat. So here's what you do. I don't even know. Chaliece would probably have a better idea, but from the pictures and videos I've seen, you walk downstairs in the houses in Philly, to understand this, it's not like a suburban like 3-story, okay? They're like these little, it's kind of like
stairs.
San Francisco, narrow. Very, very narrow houses right next to each other. And you walk down probably a narrow staircase. You smell whatever liquor is being poured that night. The floor is probably sticky and nasty. And then I don't really know the rest about like what house shows do to decorate. Like what are these houses like? And the people live there. They live like if you have the house and you're running the show downstairs, you live there too. So people are just coming into your basement. They pay a bit of money, maybe like $5. There's a little stage. And I guess artists just like get on there and like play. And I don't know what the sound system is like. I don't know if it's super, super loud. And then there's people just like all on a straight concrete floor trying to peer over each other, like GA, like general admission. And they're trying to watch these artists. And like, where are the artists? Like, is there a green room? Or are they just like walking up from the crowd? Where are their instruments? Are they just in the back?
So I don't think I've been to a house show. Wait.
We completely changed your idea of a house show.
I don't know what this episode is anymore. I don't know what a house show is. No, I'm dead ass because so the one I'm thinking of was the last one I went to. I think. Honestly, these memories, they come into my head and out. But in this sense, there was no stage.
They're just on the floor?
This is ground. This straight ground.
No, the thing is, I'm thinking like.
No, I know what you're thinking of. It's like a step, but like straight step.
No, I've seen pictures. It's just like everyone's there.
I feel like there's like a little like thing on the floor.
I think you can buy a stage like that. Like it's like a black thing that I feel like it's like in the shape of like a triangle or something. I could be making that up, but I feel like no, yes, you can buy like a little like just build up stage like that. And I think that's what regular house shows are usually on. And if I'm like picturing it right, it would be like the instruments, like the whole band or whatever is like on that little thing. And all their stuff is there. And they have like a set list, whatever, they know who's coming. I doubt that they have it like fully planned in the sense of like mic height and like all of that stuff. But like they probably have like, okay, well, this person's by themselves. Let's move this, you know. But I think it's just like that. And then like Jenna was saying everything else about the crowds on this concrete ground. Yeah. But the one I was at, it's straight concrete. Everyone's on concrete. There's no one that's superior. The artists are the same people. And the artists, I think they came from the crowd. No, they were in the back of the crowd, like just chilling. And then they would come forward when it was their time to go. But I guess that's the want of a house show, like that simplicity and like, you know, you can be friends with the artist that's going up next, you know? And then you're like, that's my friend.
I have a question. So if there's like many bands playing that night, are there like 10 guitars just like standing in the back?
I think all of them have like, I think they're basically coming up and setting up their own equipment. But the thing is, there aren't going to be 10 artists. It's going to be like maybe 3 to 5, depending on the show.
Interesting.
And some might just be playing a track. Like, who knows? I'm so sorry to anybody who loves house shows or has a house and is listening, and we are just totally butchering this. Like, we don't know. This is a form of discovery itself in this episode. Yeah. We're trying our best to explain it.
I wanted to go before graduating, but that's not in the plans anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just have to live in this made-up house show I've made up in my head.
It's so funny.
I'm not going to be like 30 years old walking in. No.
Listen, I have a plan.
Okay. We make our own karaoke party in a basement.
I can dig it. I think that, one, we all should go to a house show when we're just older, you know? Yes, because if you're going to do it, we have to do it together. Okay? End of story. We're going to do that. But the second thing I was going to say, which has left my head.
Let me jump in. Okay. Because I'm already thinking about why I don't want to go. Because I already have this problem with PA. if there's no like stage where they're raised above, like I can't see shit. But then I ask myself in my head, do I want to see them? I don't know.
So let's talk about just why we aren't completely into them. Like, what happened? What's wrong with us?
I mean, a part of it is that community, and it's honestly, it's like a language barrier. Just like Gaby was saying, when people are talking in class about these artists, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I can't follow along. It's like somebody speaking a different language. So like, that's definitely the number one reason why I've never gone, because I've never been able to understand this group of people who like just liked music that I just have never heard of. And some of the artists that they brought up are good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I found some really little artists that are kind of cool. But the vast majority, which is like the second reason why I haven't gone, is just like artists that I've listened to and been like, I don't get this. And that's okay. I just don't get the music. And then I think number 3 is, regardless of our music tastes, there just were no vibes. There just were no vibes between me and this other crowd, regardless of our taste. It wasn't going to happen. And I got invited to maybe like, the one that I went to was our great friend, Ariel. She was trying to work with these 2 artists. And I liked one of them. And they were both there at the show, and it started late, and I don't know. It was cute. The bathroom was the best part of that house. And like, we went and got pizza after, so it was fine. Like, thanks Ariel for showing me that experience. But I got invited to this other one, and then you have to like walk or take an Uber. Again, I'm broke. And like, for me, if I'm paying money to see an artist, it better be somebody I like. Like, that's kind of where I come from.
See, that was my issue. I was going to say one of the reasons I don't want to go is because I have this big fear of getting brutally murdered. Therefore, I don't like walking to places at night, especially in Philly. It's just like not my vibe personally. And I also don't want to Uber. So therefore, no mode of transportation. So that was probably my biggest reason for not going. The second one being, I just didn't vibe with the people. Didn't want to see them outside of class if I didn't have to. So that's definitely the 2 main reasons why I just never went. I also feel like if I went, they'd look at me and be like, why? Like, why are you here?
And what if it went wrong? Like, what if just your presence there was just totally unwelcome?
Yeah, exactly.
Or you had a conversation that went really bad, and then you gotta like go back to class. Like, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, so I just didn't want to suffer through that like embarrassment, I guess. So I just never went.
I'm gonna jump in because while Jenna was talking, when you mentioned the Uber, it made me think of the first one I've been to. Before I say that, I will say like why I didn't go. So I think my main reason was just like, obviously we all just didn't vibe with those like people that did go. So with that being obvious, which it means like we didn't have anyone to go with. So I didn't have anyone to go with me, even if I did like want to go. So the few times that I did go, it would just be because I had someone that I could drag along. So I'm thinking I went to 3 in total now, but I did go to one freshman year. It was, I'm going to say around Halloween, but I'm not positive. I went with one of my roommates from that year, and we took an Uber there. We got there, and we're completely confused as to like if we were in the right spot. And then we saw someone else get out of the Uber and like go in there. So we were like, okay, let's go. And I was going because one of my friends from choir, and mind you, I'm a freshman. And if this is around Halloween, that means we've been at school for what, 2 months, maybe?
1.
Yeah. So there was this girl in my like choir, and she wanted me to, she's like, oh, like I'm having this house show, whatever. And I was like, okay, I'll go. And we get there. I have never been so uncomfortable. And I am not the type to like just leave things. Like I'll usually like wait it out a little bit. When I mean I walked in, we went downstairs. There was no one in the basement. There was only like 6 people in the kitchen.
Did you have to pay?
No.
Okay.
I left. We walked in and then ran out.
That's the worst.
So that I could avoid like my friend from choir. And we're still cool now. I don't know if she noticed that I left. Let's just hope she didn't. But I literally was out of there. And then I ended up waiting in this random part, like I don't know Philly back then. Like now I'd say I know Philly a lot more. So I would be able to walk or I'd be able to like know what area I'm in. I had no idea where I was. We had to wait on an Uber and the Uber kept canceling on us. So we waited there. I'm not kidding, what felt like hours. It was probably like 45 minutes, but we didn't know where we were. So it was like extra sketchy. And we're sitting on these steps, not outside of the house because I didn't want anyone to see us outside the house. So we walked around the block. We're sitting on these random steps. There's people walking past. There was this like this old couple walking past, arguing with each other. So, moral of the story, don't go to house shows. No, that's mean. But like, I shouldn't have went to that one. Just because look at what happened. Like that could have ended bad.
Was there even an artist there?
I don't know. I wasn't early because I was definitely late because I'm not early for stuff. So like I know I was like late and I think I remember like seeing stories of like someone starting to perform, if I'm thinking of the right one. But it was so weird. Like no one was in the basement other than I'll give it to them, maybe like 2 people that were like on the side. But I'm telling you, there was no one like performing. So like I went down there and I was like, oh, walked back up the steps, saw people in the kitchen and was like, I got a blast. Like, I can't do this.
So awkward.
It's just, oh my God, so uncomfortable. And I was like, dang. And I brought my freshman year roommate with me.
It's the worst when you bring them to the wrong situation.
And she probably didn't want to go with you ever again.
No, but I was going to go by myself. That's what's crazy. Like, I would have panicked and probably like walked home.
So the segment for today is concert memories. Your favorite concert, best memory at a concert, whatever you want to call it. I can go first because I'm excited about mine. Okay, so imagine this. 2014, I think. I was in line outside the arena, Fort Lauderdale, and I was going to see Demi Lovato, but that wasn't the highlight of my evening. Of course it wasn't. Little Mix was opening. And I had tickets to go to a meet and greet. And so I was with my sister because I dragged her along to everything because she could drive and I couldn't. So she had to come with me. So we were in line and then I went to go to like meet them. But like I had met them like the year before and like another like meet and greet. It was like a signing. But this time I couldn't have my phone on me. So like that was a little rude. Anyways, so then it was I like got to meet them. It was super cute. I cried again because it was just so amazing because they're so pretty. I love them. Anyways, so that was like the highlight. But like it was a good, I don't really remember Demi Lovato that much. But Fifth Harmony also opened, so it's just girl power everywhere.
Whoa.
And it was like pretty crazy.
That's cool.
No, that's actually a good show.
Then Little Mix came out and I was like doing the choreography with them. I was crying, I was singing. It was a really good show. Good concert.
That sounds fun.
It was really fun.
I can go next because Chaliece says she's got like a great story. Let's hope we are laughing because otherwise it's going to be a letdown.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about this 1975 concert, but then I was just like, no, let me just talk about the best freaking concert experience I've ever had. So this was before, like, I had my little separation with 5 Seconds of Summer. I became a fan of them, like, through One Direction, but they had this article come out and it was just trash. And then I had a break period where I wasn't even excited about them. But this was right after, like, my first 1D concert a few months later. Maybe it was the second 1D concert. And I just saw them alone at the arena that's in St. Paul here in Minnesota called XL Energy Center. I think I got there really early because I wanted to be right at the front of the pit. And it was right by the stage and like the catwalk. And it was just one of those concert experiences, and I hope everybody can have one of these in their life where like you're in the pit, everybody is just so hype. Like that's just the best concert ever when everybody around you is in like the same mode, and even the people like in the seats are also all like so loud. Like it's those loud shows where the decibels hurt your ears like hell that are just so good. I mean, there are concerts where the artist is just like an Adele and their voice stands alone, and you've got like older people who are just like, yeah, but like this was just teens and tweens going crazy. And yeah, it's just one of like the best pit experiences I've ever had. And it was in an arena, which made it good. And 5 Seconds of Summer, they just killed it that day.
Wait, which album was it?
I think it was their first one. The second one hadn't even come out yet. Because I went to the show for the second one, and that was when I was not vibing with them.
Yeah,
they said something about women. They said something about women in this Rolling Stone article.
What?
Here's what they said in the article. Like, basically, it was like, it might have been framed shittily around them, which is totally possible, but there were like direct quotes from, for sure, Ashton, at least, saying something about how they wish that they had more male fans. And like there was a bunch of other like quotes about it, and it just rubbed me the wrong way because I think you should just be glad or happy for any fans that you have at all. And like I think just historically a lot of bands with like the majority or even more than the majority of female fans, they just get shit on, and I just don't vibe with that mentality, because just because your fans are mostly women doesn't mean that you're any less of a talented band. And actually those are the bands that get huge, is bands backed by women. But yeah, anyways, that first concert was just the best. And I was so sad when the second one was more of a letdown. But Ashton came down in the second one, and I almost touched him, but no, it didn't happen. All right, Chaliece, so what's this great concert experience story? I'm ready.
Okay, so you guys had, I feel like, better stories than me because they're like, oh, these like great stories, you know, like good feeling. I guess mine is pretty good, but whatever. Okay, so imagine Chaliece, 13 years old, New York City. Obviously, that's where I went to all my concerts. I saw Mod Sun. Now, if you don't know Mod Sun, or you do, I don't know. Fun fact, he's actually being represented by the publicity company that I used to intern for, which is really cool.
Love that.
So,
cool.
Yeah, shout out to Big Picture Media, doing great things. Okay, so I'm at this concert. I loved Mod Sun. Just to give you a background, I had his skateboard. I don't go on skateboards. That's not me. I had the skateboard. I have 5 million hoodies, t-shirts, and I don't even know why my mom really let me listen to him, because he was really like that guy to like push happiness, but he was a big weed smoker. And I'm like a child. And my mom's like, it's okay, she loves happiness. And like, that's why she's listening to him. But whatever. So we're at this show and I'm with like my best friend. We went to every concert from like middle school to high school. All my concerts, I was with her. So we usually took turns like back and forth on like whose person we were going to, and this one was mine. But majority of the show, there was a certain smell going around. Which wasn't really giving off the good vibes for a 13-year-old, 13, 14, however old I was. I don't even know. I feel like I had to have been older for me to be let into this show, but I'm thinking it was 2013. So we're at the show. It's going great. I'm screaming the lyrics to his songs, like love him. And then all of a sudden, I think cake started to be thrown. So my friend was uncomfortable being there for many reasons. So she wanted to get out. And we were like at the front because when I mean I loved him. We were like close to the front. And so she tried to jump over the thing to get out.
Oh no. When I see that happen, I'm already like,
no. She couldn't do it. So you know what happened? The security that's up there had to pick us up and take us out in the middle of Monsun's performance.
And you're literally children.
And I'm screaming the lyrics. She's like, I can't do it. I need to go. I'm like, you're not serious. So we get picked up. And I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Like, I'm so little at the time, too. I know this guy was like, let me get this. Probably like picking me up with one hand. Putting me down. So like, we get picked up and put down. And then the good part about it was that like, we're like, okay, well, we're not going to not be in the show. So the way the venue was like set up, you had like the GA. Once you're out of that, there was like this whole other area that you could still watch the show. It's kind of like the Fillmore, how like that part is like GA down there, and then like the rest, like you kind of still stand there and like have all this room. So it was like that. So we were standing there for the rest of the show. Mod's son went, and then I think he was opener, so like someone else went too. And he ended up coming out and walking. And my friend's like, he's right there. So we run up to him and we're like, hey, like, what's up, whatever. And I'm like, can I have a picture? And he's like, I'm doing meet and greet after. So I was like, I can't just get my picture now? He's like, no. He's like, I have to do the meet and greet after. So we wait till after the whole show is done. And then he like starts this random line. And we all just line up, and I'm basically first because my ass was already back there anyway. So we take this picture, and my friend's like, she loves you. You should kiss her.
Oh, no.
And he's like, no, I can't do that. I'm like, what? I get my picture, and then that was it. And then I left. But when I tell you like the amount of concert stories I have that are crazy like that, because just dealing with my friend, I love her, but she always makes things interesting. They always flip with us like going to concerts together. So it's so funny. I don't know how we were 13, 14 going to the show. I don't understand it looking back. Like, it's actually dangerous.
Where did they get the cake from?
I don't know. Literally, I was texting her, which is funny because, like, this is how I remember everything. And when when we tried to get picked up, she kicked someone in the stomach. Just to add that on. But I don't know where they got the cake. I think it was cake. She could remember wrong, but like I know there was a reason that she was like, I don't want to be in this crowd anymore. So I think it was cake.
What an adventure.
Yeah, it was nuts. And my mom used to drop us off at like the venue, and then we'd just be there, and then she'd be there like when it was over. But like, what did I tell my mom? Like,
that's the worst part about concerts as a kid. You're like, you can't just get in the car and drive home.
Yeah.
Like, you have to wait for somebody to pick you up.
Going back to the episode and house shows, which is what we were talking about.
What are they?
No, we already spoke about what they are. So, is there a house show that we would realistically want to go to? What would the circumstance have to be for you to be like, I want to go? Like, I really, really do want to go.
You know, if our kids get together.
Oh, true.
Oh my
That's
God.
it.
So that's the only circumstance that you would go if your kid was playing.
If One Direction,
Oh my God.
if they said 15 people only, I'm giving my whole life savings.
You think you're getting in to the
I
house
think
show?
you'd be one of the 15.
It's going to be my house.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
I'm going.
Okay, in a more realistic sense, in the context of being at Drexel, like, and actually going to a house show again, because I probably wouldn't do it, I think I would only go if, like, here's the situation. I already want to see them because I like their studio versions. If I don't like your studio versions, I don't want to go because how is the live going to be better? Like, that's the baseline, is having good studio versions of your songs. And then if you're a great performer, even better. But yeah, I would only go if I like heard of a band and they were like, and I listened to their music and I was like, oh, I like that. I want to see them live. Then I would go. But that literally never happened once.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I would only go in that situation, or if, again, like one of my friends was like doing it and I just really wanted to support them, you know, to be a good person.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, no, I wouldn't.
I wish that there was like an
Anyways.
R&B person who like just went up there and performed like that. Like if Patrick had a show, oh, I'd be there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Well, mark your calendars, guys, because... Just kidding.
No, and for
I'm
people...
held to secrecy.
Oh, and for people who don't know Patrick, he's one of our friends. He is
Probably
a
the
really
most
good
talented
musician.
person in Drexel MIP.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he helped me pass all my music classes. Without Patrick, I wouldn't have done anything. I wouldn't have succeeded. So,
But yeah, anyways, we would go to his show for sure. And then if Chaliece was like, I'm gonna go sing ballads, I'll be there too for that. I would say I wish I could have seen Alexis one time live.
me too.
That was the last one I went to. I went for Alexis.
Yeah, I wish I could have been there at least once. But that's it.
Too. Thanks so much for hearing us talk about this culture that we were not really a part of, and that kind of maybe understand. Maybe if we got it all wrong, please reach out to us and let us know, because obviously we don't have the right idea. But anyways, sorry if we offended anyone. Truly was not our intention. Join us next week where we will be talking about where our love for music came from, our music taste, and music, TV shows, Broadway shows, in Chalice's case, that shaped us into the little music people that we are today. Follow us on Instagram at MMMLC Podcast to stay up to date on our releases. Missy Elliott, call us. We want the mechanical license. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.